Taiwan adjusted his optical sensors as he carefully brushed dust from the ancient tablet. The dim light of twin moons filtered through the ruins around him. Being from the void species gave him advantages in the dark, but even he needed his equipment for detailed work. Another day, another dig, he muttered to himself, though his heart wasn't in the complaint. After 30 years studying myths across the galaxy, he still felt a thrill with each new discovery. The abandoned world of Chorus VII had been a treasure trove. Once home to a thriving civilization, now only crumbling structures remained, half buried in red sand. His team had been excavating for 3 months. Junho approached from the eastern chamber, his gray skin almost glowing in the darkness. "Professor, you should see this," he called, excitement making his voice tremble. Junho was young for a research assistant, barely 60 years old. Taiwan stood, his joints protesting after hours of crouching. "What have you found?" "The etchings match the patterns we found in the Eridani system." Junho pointed to a section of wall his team had just uncovered. Same symbols, same arrangement. This was unusual. The Eridani ruins were 9,000 light-years away. There should be no connection between these civilizations. Taiwan moved closer, his elongated fingers tracing the strange symbols carved into the stone. 6-fingered hands were perfect for delicate archaeological work. The symbols showed bipedal figures standing among stars. "These references appear in too many cultures to be coincidental," Taiwan said. "Bipedal beings with remarkable adaptability, capable of surviving in nearly any environment." Junho's secondary eyes blinked skeptically. "All 4 of them. You don't actually believe these humans existed, do you?" The Council of Sciences classified them as fictional constructs centuries ago. Taiwan understood the doubt. His own mentor had warned him about chasing myths. Humans appeared in the stories of dozens of species, always described as soft-skinned creatures without natural defenses, yet somehow dominating their environments through tool use and adaptability. Most scholars considered them galaxy-wide folklore, like the energy beings said to live in gas giants, or the supposed sentient stars of the outer rim. "Myths often contain kernels of truth," Taiwan replied. "Look at this recurring symbol. It appears in artifacts spanning 12,000 years across 17 star systems." The symbol was simple, a circle with 2 crossing lines inside it. Some believed it represented a ship design. Others thought it might be a religious icon. Junho shrugged, all 4 shoulders lifting in sequence. Perhaps these civilizations shared cultural exchange. "Impossible. Many existed before space travel was developed," Taiwan countered. "And the oldest references come from species who never met each other." The team worked until local sunset, when the red dust storms made work impossible. As most researchers packed up tools, Taiwan continued examining the wall. His extraction tool, designed to separate artifacts from surrounding stone, struck something solid beneath the sediment. The metal tip produced an unusual sound, not the dull thud of stone, but a clear ping. "Junho, bring the portable scanner," Taiwan called, excitement building. The scanner revealed an object buried 3 centimeters below the surface. Unlike the stones surrounding it, this object had a metallic sheen. Taiwan carefully removed the remaining soil. It was perfectly rectangular, about the size of his hand. No visible seams marred its smooth surface. It reflected light oddly, sometimes appearing silver, sometimes with a blue tint. "What is it?" Junho asked, all 4 eyes wide. Taiwan checked the scanner readings. "Unknown metal composition. It's unlike anything in our archaeological database." The object was cool to touch despite sitting in hot sand all day. Taiwan turned it over, revealing more strange symbols etched into one side. They matched the wall carvings perfectly. "This device appears designed for data storage," he said, comparing it to known artifacts. "But it's at least 10,000 years old according to initial dating. Such technology shouldn't exist from that era. Most civilizations were barely developing written language then." Maybe it's from off-world visitors, Jun-Ho suggested. Perhaps. Tai-Wan felt a familiar excitement building, the kind that came with significant discoveries. We need to take this to Nexus Station for proper analysis. As he held the object, a section on its surface dimly glowed in response to his touch. The light formed a pattern, the same circle with crossing lines from the wall carvings. "Record this," Tai-Wan whispered. "I believe we found something significant." Jun-Ho activated his recording device as the glow intensified briefly, then faded. That night in their base camp, Tai-Wan couldn't sleep. He kept the artifact beside his sleeping mat, studying it by lamplight. His people needed little rest, an evolutionary advantage from their homeworld's long days. The object defied conventional analysis. His portable tools couldn't identify the metal. The craftsmanship suggested advanced manufacturing techniques. If this truly connected to the human myths. For centuries, stories described humans as a species that once traveled the stars before vanishing. Some tales claimed they ascended to a higher plane. Others said they destroyed themselves in war. Many believed they retreated to an unknown region of space. Most scholars dismissed these as mere stories. Why would an advanced species disappear? And why would they appear in the folklore of so many unconnected cultures? Yet the evidence kept mounting. The same descriptions, the same symbols, and now, possibly, the same technology. Tai-Wan carefully packed the artifact for transport. Tomorrow, they would leave for Nexus Station, where better equipment might unlock its secrets. As he finally drifted to sleep, he wondered if the galaxy's greatest mystery was about to be solved. Were humans just legends, or had they truly existed, leaving traces for someone like him to find? Either way, his discovery would change everything. The bright lights of Nexus Station's research center reflected off the polished surfaces of Lab 7. This special room, designed for analyzing dangerous or valuable artifacts, was rarely this crowded. Today, 3 very different beings gathered around a central scanning platform. Tai-Wan carefully placed the rectangular metal object at the center of the platform. He had hardly slept during the 3-day journey from Chorus VI. His gray skin looked even paler than usual. "Is that it?" asked Ha-Jin, stepping closer. The quantum physicist's skin glowed with a soft blue light, a natural trait of her species. Small patches of luminescence pulsed with her excitement. "Yes, the artifact was buried in ruins dating back at least 10,000 years, Tai-Wan replied. Du-Yun moved to join them, the light catching on his crystalline body. Each movement created tiny rainbow reflections on the walls. The Fodar species had evolved from silicon rather than carbon, giving them their distinctive appearance. "Your message said this might relate to the human myths," Du-Yun said, his voice resonating slightly like glass being struck. "I admit I was skeptical. Everyone is." Tai-Wan sighed. "But look at these markings." The 3 researchers gathered around the object. The station's advanced scanners hummed as they analyzed the artifact from every angle. "Beginning molecular analysis," announced the station's AI in a pleasant, genderless voice. "Scanning elemental composition, examining internal structure." Ha-Jin adjusted her viewing lens. "The metal alloy doesn't match anything in our database. It contains elements we recognize, but combined in ways I've never seen." Du-Yun traced a finger above the surface, careful not to touch it. "These symbols repeat in specific patterns. Definitely a language or code of some kind." The minutes stretched on as the scanners worked. Finally, the AI spoke again. "Analysis complete. Object contains data storage matrices of unknown configuration. Technology exceeds current galactic standards by approximately 2,300 years." The 3 researchers exchanged shocked glances. "Impossible," Ha-Jin murmured, her skin flashing with bright pulses of light. "Nothing could be that advanced. The dating must be wrong." "I ran preliminary dating tests myself," Tai-Wan insisted. "Multiple methods all confirmed the same age range." Du-Yun's crystalline form sparkled as he bent closer. These markings, they don't match any known language matrix, but there's a pattern suggesting communication intent. See how these symbols cluster. Classic information grouping. Can you decode it? Ta-1 asked. Not without more data, Du-Yun admitted. But I believe it's meant to be activated, not just read. Ta-1 pointed to a small circle on the object's surface. This section glowed briefly when I touched it at the dig site. He-Jin looked concerned. Are you sure it's safe to activate unknown technology? Station protocols require. I've completed all required safety protocols. Ta-1 interrupted. The artifact shows no radiation, no biological contaminants, and no power signatures that could damage the station. After a moment's hesitation, He-Jin nodded. Proceed, but I'm activating containment fields just in case. A transparent energy barrier surrounded the scanning platform. Du-Yun moved to the control panel and reduced the lab's lighting by 70%. Better for observing any projections or emissions, he explained. Ta-1 reached slowly for the circle on the artifact's surface. His six-fingered hand trembled slightly. Decades of research, countless digs across 17 systems, all leading to this moment. When his finger touched the circle, nothing happened. He pressed more firmly. Still nothing. Maybe it needs a specific pressure pattern, suggested He-Jin. Ta-1 tried again, applying different amounts of pressure. On his fourth attempt, the object responded. The circle glowed, then the entire artifact hummed with energy. The sound was pleasant, almost musical. The surface temperature increased slightly but remained cool enough to touch. Suddenly, a beam of light shot upward from the artifact. The beam widened, then formed into a three-dimensional image floating above the platform. The researchers gasped collectively. The holographic projection showed bipedal creatures unlike any known species. They had no exoskeletons, scales, or crystalline structures. Their skin came in various shades of beige, brown, and pink. Their heads featured patches of fiber-like growth in different colors. They matched the descriptions from the myths, Ta-1 whispered. 2 arms, 2 legs, soft external covering. Humans. Du-Yun breathed, his crystalline form vibrating with excitement. The central figure in the hologram stepped forward. It wore simple coverings over its body and stood with a straight posture that suggested confidence. We are humanity, the figure stated in perfect galactic standard. Its mouth moved in sync with the words, though the language was far newer than the artifact itself. The translation matrix must be adaptive, Du-Yun said in amazement. It's converting their language to our modern tongue in real time. The human continued speaking. If you're receiving this message, you've discovered one of our beacons. Long ago, we walked among the stars as you do now. After the great severance, we chose isolation to protect both ourselves and the galaxy. The 3 researchers stared in stunned silence. The legends were real. Humans had existed, perhaps still existed. The hologram showed images of human ships, human worlds, human achievements, cities that covered entire continents, engineering works that reshaped planets, medicine that seemed to conquer death itself. We left these beacons as breadcrumbs, the human explained, for when the galaxy was ready to find us again. The message continued for several minutes, explaining how humans had once been part of a vast interstellar community, how a great conflict had led to their decision to retreat from known space. When the message ended, the lab remained silent for a long moment. Finally, He-Jin spoke, her voice barely above a whisper. If humans truly exist, if they have technology this advanced, it changes everything we thought we knew about galactic history. We need to report this to the Science Council immediately, said Du-Yun. Ta-1 nodded slowly, still staring at the now empty space where the hologram had been. The coordinates, he said suddenly. Did you notice? The message included star coordinates. Where do they lead? Asked He-Jin. To a region of empty space, Ta-1 replied. At least, what our charts show as empty space. The 3 exchanged meaningful looks. The artifact had just rewritten history, but the coordinates might lead to something even more important. The future. Kehoe's office always felt too cold. The station administrator kept the temperature low, supposedly to help him think clearly. Today, the chill matched the coldness of his words. The Academic Council has denied your request for additional funding, Kehoe said, looking at Taiwan with stern eyes. They consider this pursuit of human myths a waste of resources. Taiwan's second stomach tightened with disappointment. Without funding, their discovery would go nowhere. But the artifact is real. The hologram was real. The council saw our evidence. Kehoe straightened the items on his desk. Evidence of an advanced civilization, perhaps. But to claim these are the mythical humans is a leap too far for serious scholars. We showed them the recording. Had-Jin protested, her skin flashing with angry pulses of light. Recordings can be faked, Kehoe replied, or misinterpreted. The council suggests you return to more productive research. Do-Yun stepped forward, his crystalline form catching the light, and the coordinates embedded in the message. Should we ignore those too? Kehoe sighed heavily. The coordinates point to empty space near the galactic rim. The council sees no reason to waste a research vessel on such a journey. After leaving the office, the three researchers walked silently through Nexus Station's main plaza. The vast space bustled with beings from across the galaxy, none aware that history had just been rewritten, and then promptly ignored. All my life studying these myths, Taiwan said finally. The first real proof, and they dismiss it. They're afraid, Du-Yun observed. If humans exist and possess such advanced technology, it challenges the established order. Had-Jin stopped walking. Then we go without them. How? Taiwan asked. We need a ship, supplies, clearance to leave the station. I might know someone, Had-Jin said, her skin brightening with hope. A collector I've worked with before. Eccentric, wealthy, fascinated by ancient legends. 2 days later, they met with Jae-sung in his private museum. The collector was from a species known for their long lifespans and even longer memories. His skin had the pale green shade of extreme old age. So you found proof of humans, Jae-sung said, examining the artifact through a magnifying lens. The council rejected you, of course. They always fear what they don't understand. We need a ship, Taiwan said simply. Jae-sung smiled, revealing triple rows of small teeth. As it happens, I own several, including one perfect for deep space exploration. He showed them images of a vessel called the Stellar Seeker, smaller than standard research ships but faster and equipped with advanced sensors. Why help us? Du-Yun asked. I've collected human myths for 3 centuries, Jae-sung replied. I want to know if they're real as much as you do. Besides, imagine the artifacts you might find. 1 week later, the Stellar Seeker left Nexus Station with minimal fanfare. The council granted permission only after Jae-sung made several large donations to various administrative departments. The journey would take 3 months. The coordinates led to a region far from established trade routes, near the edge of the galaxy. Life aboard the small ship settled into a routine. Taiwan studied the artifact daily, finding new details in its construction. Had-Jin analyzed the technology behind its holographic capabilities. Du-Yun worked on deciphering more of the language patterns. As they traveled, they passed through regions of space rarely visited. Strange stellar phenomena lit their path. Twice they adjusted course to avoid gravitational anomalies. 3 months after departure, the ship's AI announced their approach to the target coordinates. Final jump in 10 minutes, it reported. Destination appears to be empty space according to sensors. The 3 researchers gathered on the bridge. The view screen showed only darkness dotted with distant stars. Could the coordinates be wrong? Had-Jin wondered aloud. Or perhaps there's nothing left to find, Du-Yun suggested. The message could be thousands of years old. Taiwan shook his head. I don't believe that. The artifact was left as a beacon. It was meant to be found. The ship completed its final jump, arriving exactly at the specified coordinates. The sensors showed nothing unusual, just empty space. Run a complete scan, Ta-1 ordered. All frequencies, all detection methods. As the scan began, Hadjin noticed something strange. Energy readings are fluctuating. That's odd. The ship suddenly shuddered, as if hitting turbulence in space, where no turbulence should exist. Something's wrong, Hadjin reported, checking the instruments. Our navigation systems are malfunctioning. Du Yun moved to another console. Power levels dropping. Sensors giving contradictory readings. The ship shuddered again, more violently this time. The lights flickered briefly. We've entered some kind of energy field, Ta-1 said, watching the readings. It's bending the light around us. One by one, instruments began to fail. The view screen showed only static. Backup systems engaged, the ship's AI announced, its voice distorted. Warning: unknown environmental interference detected. Du Yun worked frantically at his station. I'm trying to clear the view screen. After several tense moments, the static cleared. What they saw left them speechless. Look! Du Yun pointed to the view screen. Where empty space had been moments before, a star system now appeared. A yellow sun with 9 orbiting planets. The third planet shone blue-green, with white cloud patterns swirling across its surface. Impossible, Hadjin whispered. It wasn't there a minute ago. Not impossible, Ta-1 replied, his voice filled with awe. Hidden, completely hidden by advanced cloaking technology. Technology beyond anything we've ever seen. The ship's sensors now detected the star system clearly, as if it had been there all along, which, Ta-1 realized, it had been. Setting course for the third planet, the AI announced. Estimated arrival time: 6 hours. As they approached, Ta-1 felt a strange mix of emotions. Fear, certainly, they were entering unknown territory, but mostly excitement. After a lifetime studying myths, he was about to discover if humans truly existed. 5 hours later, as they neared the blue-green planet, the ship's sensors detected movement. Multiple objects approaching, the AI reported. Configuration unknown. On the view screen, sleek vessels appeared. Their design was unlike any ship Ta-1 had ever seen. They moved with impossible grace, as if gravity and inertia were mere suggestions rather than laws. They're surrounding us, Hadjin said, her skin pulsing with nervous light. The comm system activated without their input. A voice spoke in perfect galactic standard. Unidentified vessel, you have entered protected space. Prepare for escort. Ta-1, Hadjin, and Du Yun exchanged glances. The moment of truth had arrived. After thousands of years existing only in legend, humans were about to become real. The stellar seeker moved silently between the escort vessels, following their guidance. Through the view screen, Ta-1 watched as a massive space station came into view. It orbited the blue-green planet like a silver ring, gleaming in the light of the yellow sun. It's enormous, Hadjin whispered, her skin glowing with amazement. At least 10 times larger than Nexus Station. Du Yun checked the sensor readings. The technology, these readings can't be right. The energy output is beyond anything in our database. Their small ship approached a docking bay that opened like a mouth in the station's smooth side. The escort ships peeled away as the stellar seeker was guided inside by invisible tractor beams. Docking complete, announced the ship's eye. External atmosphere reads as safe for all crew members. Ta-1 felt his heart beating rapidly. We should prepare to meet them. Them, Du Yun repeated. Humans, if they really exist. The 3 researchers gathered near the airlock, each lost in thought. After years of studying myths, after being ridiculed by colleagues, they were about to learn the truth. What if they're hostile? Hadjin asked suddenly. They could have destroyed our ship already if they wanted to, Ta-1 pointed out. I think they're curious about us too. The airlock chimed, indicating an external connection. With a soft hiss, the door slid open. Taiwan's breath caught in his throat. Standing on the other side were three beings exactly matching the descriptions from ancient legends. Bictal, soft-skinned, no visible natural defenses. They wore simple clothing in muted colors. Humans, real humans. The closest one stepped forward. Taiwan corrected himself, had dark hair and eyes, and skin with a warm brown tone. "Welcome," said the human. "I am Sung Min. It's been over 3,000 years since we've received non-human visitors." His galactic standard was perfect, with no accent. Taiwan realized they had been speaking the human language all along. It had simply been adopted as the common tongue after humans disappeared from galactic society. "I am Taiwan, an archaeologist," he replied, finding his voice. "These are my colleagues, Ha Jin and Du Yun. We found your beacon." Sung Min nodded. "Yes, we detected its activation. Please, come with us." They followed the humans through corridors that seemed to go on forever. The station's interior was beautiful in its simplicity, curved walls and soft white, with occasional artwork depicting landscapes or abstract patterns. Other humans they passed stopped to stare at the visitors. Many smiled or nodded in greeting. None showed fear. "How can your species survive with such soft exteriors?" Du Yun asked, unable to contain his curiosity. "No claws, no armor, no natural weapons." Sung Min smiled. "We adapted differently. Our strength lies in our minds and our ability to create tools." They arrived at a large circular room. A table stood in the center, surrounded by chairs designed to accommodate various body types. More humans waited inside. One stood as they entered. This human had darker skin than Sung Min and hair streaked with silver. "I am Director Min Su," the human announced. "Your discovery of our beacon was unexpected, but perhaps timely." Taiwan, Ha Jin, and Du Yun were invited to sit. The chairs adjusted automatically to support their different physiologies. "You speak our language perfectly," Ha Jin noted, her skin flickering with curiosity. "Actually, you speak ours," Min Su replied. "Many galactic languages evolved from human tongues after we withdrew from common space." Taiwan leaned forward. "You've been monitoring us?" he asked. As they approached, Taiwan felt a strange mix of emotions. Fear, certainly, they were entering unknown territory, but mostly excitement. After a lifetime studying myths, he was about to discover if humans truly existed. 5 hours later, as they neared the blue-green planet, the ship's sensors detected movement. "Multiple objects approaching," the AI reported. "Configuration unknown." On the view screen, sleek vessels appeared. Their design was unlike any ship Taiwan had ever seen. They moved with impossible grace, as if gravity and inertia were mere suggestions rather than laws. "They're surrounding us," Ha Jin said, her skin pulsing with nervous light. The comm system activated without their input. A voice spoke in perfect galactic standard. "Unidentified vessel, you have entered protected space. Prepare for escort." Taiwan, Ha Jin, and Du Yun exchanged glances. The moment of truth had arrived. After thousands of years existing only in legend, humans were about to become real. The stellar seeker moved silently between the escort vessels, following their guidance. Through the view screen, Taiwan watched as a massive space station came into view. It orbited the blue-green planet like a silver ring, gleaming in the light of the yellow sun. "It's enormous," Ha Jin whispered, her skin glowing with amazement. "At least 10 times larger than Nexus Station." Du Yun checked the sensor readings. "The technology. These readings can't be right. The energy output is beyond anything in our database." Their small ship approached a docking bay that opened like a mouth in the station's smooth side. The escort ships peeled away as the stellar seeker was guided inside by invisible tractor beams. "Docking complete," announced the ship's eye. "External atmosphere reads as safe for all crew members." Taiwan felt his heart beating rapidly. "We should prepare to meet them." Them, Du-Yun repeated. Humans, if they really exist. The three researchers gathered near the airlock, each lost in thought. After years of studying myths, after being ridiculed by colleagues, they were about to learn the truth. What if they're hostile? He-Jin asked suddenly. They could have destroyed our ship already if they wanted to. Tai-Wan pointed out. I think they're curious about us too. The airlock chimed, indicating an external connection. With a soft hiss, the door slid open. Tai-Wan's breath caught in his throat. Standing on the other side were three beings exactly matching the descriptions from ancient legends. Bikdal, soft-skinned, no visible natural defenses. They wore simple clothing in muted colors. Humans, real humans. The closest one stepped forward. Tai-Wan corrected himself, had dark hair and eyes, and skin with a warm brown tone. Welcome, said the human. I am Sung-Min. It's been over 3,000 years since we've received non-human visitors. His galactic standard was perfect, with no accent. Tai-Wan realized they had been speaking the human language all along. It had simply been adopted as the common tongue after humans disappeared from galactic society. I am Tai-Wan, an archaeologist, he replied, finding his voice. These are my colleagues, Ha-Jin and Du-Yun. We found your beacon. Sung-Min nodded. Yes, we detected its activation. Please, come with us. They followed the humans through corridors that seemed to go on forever. The station's interior was beautiful in its simplicity, curved walls in soft white, with occasional artwork depicting landscapes or abstract patterns. Other humans they passed stopped to stare at the visitors. Many smiled or nodded in greeting. None showed fear. How can your species survive with such soft exteriors? Du-Yun asked, unable to contain his curiosity. No claws, no armor, no natural weapons. Sung-Min smiled. We adapted differently. Our strength lies in our minds and our ability to create tools. They arrived at a large circular room. A table stood in the center, surrounded by chairs designed to accommodate various body types. More humans waited inside. One stood as they entered. This human had darker skin than Sung-Min and hair streaked with silver. I am Director Min-Su, the human announced. Your discovery of our beacon was unexpected, but perhaps timely. Tai-Wan, Ha-Jin, and Du-Yun were invited to sit. The chairs adjusted automatically to support their different physiologies. You speak our language perfectly, Ha-Jin noted, her skin flickering with curiosity. Actually, you speak ours, Min-Su replied. Many galactic languages evolved from human tongues after we withdrew from common space. Tai-Wan leaned forward. You've been monitoring us, he asked. Yes, Min-Su nodded. After the ancient conflict with the Void Harbingers, we decided isolation was necessary. We've observed galactic civilization from afar, occasionally intervening subtly when extinction-level threats emerged. The Void Harbingers, Du-Yun asked. We have no record of such a species. We erased those records, another human said, for the safety of all. Min-Su gestured, and a holographic display appeared above the table. It showed images of a war fought long ago, human ships battling strange, dark vessels that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. The Harbingers came from between galaxies, Min-Su explained. They fed on energy, all energy, including the life force of sentient beings. We fought them for 200 years and barely survived. Tai-Wan tried to process this information, and after defeating them, you simply left. Removed yourselves from history. We didn't fully defeat them, Min-Su corrected. We drove them back, sealed the rifts they used to enter our galaxy. But we knew they would return eventually, so we withdrew to prepare. Why not tell the other species? He-Jin asked. Why hide? Fear, Sung-Min said simply. After the war, many species feared our power. Some believed we had attracted the Harbingers in the first place. Others wanted our technology, but would have used it unwisely. So we chose isolation, Min-Su continued. We cloaked our star system and focused on advancing our civilization. We became myths, legends, safer that way, for everyone. Over the next several days, the researchers were given tours of the station and parts of the planet below. What they saw amazed them. Humans possess technologies far beyond current galactic understanding. They had neural interfaces that enhanced cognitive capacity, allowing instant communication between minds. Their energy generation systems harvested quantum fluctuations, providing nearly limitless power. Their medical science had essentially conquered biological death. Humans could live for centuries, their bodies repaired or replaced as needed. Your civilization is at least 10,000 years ahead of the galactic average, had Jin observed during a meal with their hosts. Some men nodded. Isolation allowed us to focus on advancement rather than expansion. Without wars or resource competition, progress accelerated. On the 5th day, they were invited to a special meeting with Director Min-Su. The human looked serious as they entered the conference room. "Why reveal yourselves now?" Jin asked directly. "Why allow us to find your beacon after so long in hiding?" Min-Su's expression darkened. "Because the Harbingers are returning, and this time, the galaxy will need us." A new hologram appeared, showing a section of space near the galactic edge. Dark patches appeared between stars, like tears in the fabric of reality. "The same energy signature as before," Min-Su explained. "We've detected multiple incursions beginning. Small ones, for now. Scouts, we believe." Taiwan felt a chill run through his body. "How long do we have?" 5 years, perhaps less, Min-Su replied. "We've prepared as best we can, but the Harbingers have likely evolved too. And the galaxy is vulnerable, divided, technologically uneven, with no unified defense force. That's why you let us find you," Du Yun realized. "You need to warn everyone." Min-Su nodded. "Yes, the time for hiding is over. Humanity must rejoin galactic society to help prepare for what's coming." Taiwan, the xenorchaeologist who had spent his life studying human myths, now faced the reality that those myths would shape the galaxy's future. The legends had returned, just in time to face a nightmare from the past. Nexus Station's traffic control center had never seen anything like it. When the Stellar Seeker appeared from its final jump, it wasn't alone. 3 ships of unknown design flanked the small research vessel. Their hulls gleamed with a metal that seemed to shift colors as they moved. "Unknown vessels approaching," announced the automated alert system. "Design does not match any registered ship type." Kai-Ho, the station administrator who had denied Taiwan's funding request months ago, stared at the screen in disbelief. "Hail them immediately." The response came quickly. Taiwan's familiar face appeared on the main view screen. "Nexus Station, this is the Stellar Seeker returning from expedition. We request docking clearance for ourselves and our companions." "Who are your companions?" Kai-Ho demanded. Taiwan smiled. "Representatives of a civilization long thought to be just myths. The humans have returned to the galaxy." The station erupted in chaos as news spread. Thousands of beings crowded viewing areas to watch as the human ships docked. Security teams lined the arrival bay, uncertain what to expect. When the airlock opened, Taiwan emerged first, followed by his research team. Behind them came 5 humans, led by a tall figure introduced as Jinwoo, the newly appointed human ambassador. "We come in peace," Jinwoo said simply, his voice carrying across the suddenly silent bay. Within hours, the Galactic Council convened an emergency session. Representatives from 37 species gathered in the Great Chamber. Many had traveled at maximum speed when they heard the news. Taiwan watched from a side gallery as Jinwoo addressed the council. The xenorchaeologist still couldn't believe how quickly everything had changed. Just months ago, he had been ridiculed for believing humans existed. Now they stood before the galaxy's leaders. For 3,000 years, we have lived apart, Jinwu told the council. We watched your civilizations grow. We saw your struggles and achievements. Now we return because a threat approaches that concerns us all. Holographic displays showed the evidence of the Void Harbinger's return. Dark patches in space where stars should be visible. Energy readings that defied normal physics. The same patterns that had preceded their first invasion. Many council members appeared skeptical. Some were openly hostile. They've hidden among the stars for millennia, argued the Aractoid representative, his 8 legs tapping nervously. How can we trust them? Perhaps they invented this threat to justify their return. Others voiced similar concerns. Why had humans hidden? What were their real intentions? How had they advanced so far beyond other species? Jinwu waited patiently until the chamber quieted. We understand your concerns, he said. We disappeared from history by choice, after a war that nearly destroyed us all. But we've detected signals indicating the return of that same enemy. We offer cooperation, not dominance. Prove it, demanded the Vorjan delegate. Show us you come to help, not conquer. In the weeks that followed, humans did exactly that. They shared medical technologies that cured 3 previously incurable diseases. When an asteroid threatened a heavily populated colony world, human ships intercepted and redirected it with ease. They provided clean energy systems to planets suffering from pollution. Slowly, suspicion gave way to cautious acceptance. Taiwan found himself acting as a bridge between humans and other species. His research into human myths had given him insights that helped smooth cultural misunderstandings. Human customs that seemed strange to others made sense to him, as he had studied their echoes in ancient legends. One evening, he stood with Jinwu on Nexus Station's observation deck. Below them, ships from dozens of worlds prepared for joint military exercises. For the first time in galactic history, a unified defense force was forming. Human vessels were easy to spot among them, sleek and powerful, with their distinctive shifting color hulls. Human officers now trained pilots from other species on advanced tactical systems. The Council still has questions, Taiwan said. Some wonder why you didn't warn us sooner. Jinwu nodded. We debated that ourselves for centuries. Some humans wanted to rejoin galactic society long ago. Others feared our technology would be misused, or that we would be seen as conquerors, not allies. And what changed your minds? The Harbingers. Jinwu replied simply. Last time, we barely defeated them alone. This time, they're stronger. We need allies as much as you need us. Taiwan watched a training exercise where ships practiced complex formations. Will it be enough? It must be, Jinwu said. The first incursions have already begun in the outer systems. We have perhaps 1 year before the main invasion. In the months that followed, humans established embassies on major worlds. They shared defensive technologies while carefully withholding weapons that could be used for aggression. They helped strengthen planets likely to be attacked first. Not all welcomed them. Some religious groups claimed humans were false gods returned to test their faith. Criminal organizations feared human enforcement technologies. A few fringe political movements preached that the Harbinger threat was a human invention. But as evidence of the coming invasion mounted, most accepted the need for unity. The Galactic Defense Fleet grew larger each day. Weapons platforms were constructed at strategic points. Early warning systems spread across vulnerable sectors. 6 months after the humans' return, the first major attack came. A Harbinger scout force struck a mining colony in the Orion Arm. The newly formed fleet responded within hours. Human ships led the defense, their advanced weapons carving through the dark vessels. The victory was decisive but sobering. Analysis showed the Harbingers had indeed evolved, developing new abilities to drain energy at a distance. Without human shields, many more ships would have been lost. The battle made the threat real for billions who had doubted. Recruitment for the defense fleet tripled overnight. Standing again on the observation deck, Taiwan watched the largest gathering of ships in galactic history. The combined fleet would depart tomorrow for the galactic rim, to establish a defensive line where the main Harbinger force was expected to emerge. Jin Wu joined him, now wearing the formal uniform of the fleet's strategic command. Quite a sight, isn't it? Yes, Taiwan agreed. I never imagined my research would lead to this. Jin Wu smiled. For generations, we were just characters in your stories, he said. Now we return to write a new chapter together. Taiwan nodded. His work had unveiled not just a lost civilization, but a new future. The legends had walked back into reality, forever changing a galaxy it had reduced them to myth. As the fleet prepared to confront the ancient darkness emerging from the depths of space, humans and aliens stood united. History and legend now merged into a shared destiny. No one knew what the coming war would bring, but they would face it together as one galaxy, one people with one purpose: survival. The end.